Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to your Chelsea news video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash a like and really importantly, hit that subscribe button. Less than 20 subs to 3K now, so let's get it there. If you're locked in and you're not subscribed to the channel, please click that button. It massively helps me out. And as always, guys, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. And there's a little bit of Chelsea news to get into, people. There's been a few bits going on here and there. As we build up to the final two games of the season. There's only one place to kick things off, though. Let's get it straight underway with the news concerning the injury of January signing Benoit Badiashile. Now, a club statement on the website, very short, not really needed, to be honest. It's 3 lines. Benoit Badiashile sustained a hamstring injury, which ruled the defender out for an extended period. The 22-year-old underwent assessment with specialists earlier this week, and Benoit will now begin a rehabilitation program with the club's medical department. So we initially had it reported yesterday that, it was a groin injury and it was worse than first feared. And, Badiashile could miss up to 4 months of this, or 4 months, and could miss pre-season and the beginning of next season. Subsequently, we've had it confirmed today it's a hamstring injury. And then again, reported by Bobby Vincent at Football London that actually the injury isn't as bad as first feared, and Badiashile could only be spending 4 to 6 weeks on the sidelines, meaning that he would be fit for pre-season, which is a big boost because, he came in from January. A lot of people, myself included, thinking, do we really need another left-sided centre-back? Came in for 35 million quid. He's been phenomenal. Should have played more minutes than he has. He's barely put a foot wrong since he stepped into the team, 21, 22 years of age. And he's adapted seamlessly to the Premier League. So he'll be a real big player for us going forwards. But I think what this injury does is brings the bigger question, like, what is going on at the club at the moment with all these injuries we're picking up, particularly muscular injuries, the likes of Reece James out, Chilwell out, Mount out, Kante picking up injuries left, right and centre, Kovacic injured. We're having so many injuries at the moment. And, that's something that's massively got to be addressed in the summer is the medical department and what's going on here, because having players that are spending loads of time rehabbing, coming back for one game, breaking down and injured again. Like, something's not going right here. And I know there was a clear out of the medical department. Bowley and Co. I don't know if they installed anyone new. Seemingly they have. They're not very good at their job because we keep picking up injuries, as I said, left, right, and centre. I don't really know what it's down to. Is it the type of training we're doing? Is it the work in the gym we're doing? Are these players not conditioned? Are they just not fit? I mean, I think we know we're not fit because we only seem to be in a game for 30 minutes and then we run out of steam. Lampard, one of the very few things that he has done right is rightly point out that these lads are not fit. So, when you're trying to perform to a high level and physically exert yourself, when you're not fit, you're going to struggle. Your body's going to break down. Maybe that's why we're picking up injuries, but the rehabilitation stuff is obviously not going well. We're either rushing players back or the rehab's not been good enough and they've not been ready to return. They returned too soon and then the bodies are breaking down again. I'm not sure what's going on, but this is something that has to be sorted out because, yes, I'm fully aware that clubs and all players will pick up injuries, but the amount of muscular injuries we're picking up, the frequency we're picking them up, and that can't continue, and that just can't be right. Something's massively got to change. We need a new medical department. We need a thorough investigation into things, and moving forwards next season, we cannot afford to be picking up as many injuries as we are currently. It just doesn't make sense to why it's happening. I'm going to put my finger on a few points that I think could be valid in that, but it's an absolute shambles, and we know Bowley's made mistakes. He's coming. Big mistake was just clearing out that medical department, seemingly with no replacements, getting rid of guys that have been here for a long time, that the players have built up good rapport with, a good relationship with. And suddenly, like, we're left in a mess. We never used to pick up this many injuries. Yes, I know we had quite a few last season and under Tuchel, but generally speaking, over the years, Chelsea have been a side that didn't pick up injuries that often. So, yeah, a real frustrating one. Luckily, we've got nothing to play for this season. There's 2 games left, and Badiashile should be back and ready for pre-season to attack next season. But it just highlights the problem that's going on at the club at the moment and the deficiencies and the inadequacy of the medical department, which is one of the big things that must be addressed this summer. Moving away from the medical department and injuries onto striking news. No pun intended there. Chelsea's hunt for a centre forward. We know that the club are in the market for a forward. Ivan Toney would have been my choice. He was on the club's radar. Unfortunately, I think that 8-month ban for betting issues has probably put that one on the shelf, which is a real shame because he was a standout option in the market. We know we've got Victor Osimhen. He's going to cost a lot of money. Jury's kind of out on him slightly. Is it right for Chelsea? Do we need to be spending that much money on another forward? You're looking at other ones on the next rung down, Kolo Muani. Again, rumours of him making a move have gone a little bit quiet. Harry Kane, the obvious one with the Pochettino links, but again, Levy very unlikely to sell to Tottenham. Would Kane force a move to Chelsea? Who knows? But a name that has re-emerged recently is that of Juventus forward Dusan Vlahovic. Now, agent Massimo Brambati on Vlahovic's future. There are 3 teams that showed up. In my opinion, Juve will take these offers seriously. All of them have an important profile because they're Chelsea, Bayern Munich, and Atletico Madrid. Now, Vlahovic was close to a move to Arsenal, not this January, gone the January before, but ultimately ended up moving to Juventus from Fiorentina. I think he had a decent first season at the club. He struggled this season. I don't think Allegri's style of play particularly suits his attributes. You know, he's a goal scorer. He's not scored a tremendous amount of goals at Juventus. He's still 23 years of age. I think he is a decent forward. I think he's a decent forward. I've not watched loads of him, but from what I've seen of him, he does look good. He looks well-rounded. Looks like a good finisher, good link-up play. 23 years of age, so again, kind of fits that into that age range that the club are looking to invest in. Subsequently, reports of an 80 million euro bid being submitted by Chelsea to Juventus are wide of the mark and not true, but it's clear that Vlahovic is on the radar and could represent a sound option, a sound investment potentially. We think Juventus, you know, having now had they obviously had 15-point deduction overturned. Then it's now been done to 10 points. So there could be no Champions League football for Juventus this season. I don't know how big that would be for Vlahovic. Obviously, we can't offer any European football next season, but I think Vlahovic could be an interesting one to watch. And as I said, the striker market, there's not much on the market. You're looking at your Tonys, your Kanes, not really for Chelsea, or Tony, or Osimhen maybe, Vlahovic. And then you're looking at the next rung down, your Rasmus Højlunds, Young, Gift Orban, Young. There's very few kind of players that are of the right profile in the striker market that are going to fit our needs and what we need. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, but definitely one to watch. But as of yet, no bid has gone in for Dusan Vlahovic, but Chelsea are in for Dusan Vlahovic. Interest is there. Let's wait and see how this one unfolds. Moving from one end of the pitch to the other end of the pitch and the future of Thiago Silva, guys. Now, obviously, Football London today and Bobby Vincent, very reliable, good reporter, stating that in an exclusive, multiple unnamed Saudi clubs are interested in Thiago Silva this summer. Contact has been made to Chelsea via intermediaries ahead of a possible summer move. Silva obviously has 1 year left on his deal, having penned an extension with the club back in September time, I believe it was. We've had rumours about Silva's future earlier this season, not so long ago. Subsequently, he's come out and shut that down. His wife, subsequently, after the Forest game, did a video saying that, you know, the family are very happy in London. Their kids are happy in London. He's happy at the club. The fans love him. They love the fans. And very much seem to confirm that he was staying. Now, understand that, you know, clubs are going to try and sniff around him. Silva might feel that maybe, you know, maybe he might want to try something new. I don't think that is the case. I understand that Bowley wasn't particularly pleased with his comments after the Real Madrid game about the ownership, but there's no indications that that's caused a big issue by any means. And you can understand why Saudi clubs would be interested. Saudi seems to be turning into the new Chinese Super League, where they're just trying to get everything and everyone over to the league, trying to raise the profile of it. Ronaldo's obviously gone over there. Links with Lionel Messi potentially going there. Busquets is most likely to end up there. They are looking to bring over an influx of top players, even though they might be at the twilight years of their career, to the Saudi League to try and raise the profile. But I don't think there's much legs in this one. I think unless Chelsea decide that Thiago Silva is surplus to requirements and they don't want him anymore, which I think would be a staggering decision if that were to happen, then it feels like very much that these Saudi clubs can want to have Thiago Silva, but I don't think Silva's a sellout and would go to the Saudi League. If he's going to leave at all, I fully believe that he will go back to Fluminense at Brazil. But I expect him to be in a Chelsea shirt next season. But just addressing that news that Saudi clubs are interested in Silva, but I can't see their interest formalising into anything serious at all. We love Thiago Silva. Didn't expect him to have the impact that he has had. He's a fan favourite. He's a certified club legend. And let's get one more season out of this Rolls Royce of a defender and the best defender in the Premier League, if I don't say so myself. And no Chelsea news video would be complete without an update on the Mason Mount contract situation. It's getting really boring, but I've got to cover it. Obviously, we had a column from David Ornstein in The Athletic on Monday stating that Arsenal wish to add creativity in a more advanced position, and that's fueled the pursuit of Mason Mount. Strong competition from Liverpool and Man United, while Chelsea will make a final push to extend his contract. So there's still no extended contract yet for Mason Mount. There's no real news to update on. Yes, clubs are interested in him. Arsenal now potentially another one to that list. And I always judge how good a player is by the teams that are interested in him. And these are top teams that are interested. We know Mount is a top player. He's proven it for Chelsea. He's played very well. And yes, look, whether it's just down to money, no one really knows the situation. I believe it could be partly to do with money, obviously partly to do with length of contract. And this time we're going to get the answer one way or another. But I do fully believe it would be a mistake for Chelsea to let go of Mason Mount and let him go to a rival, because I think Mount under Pochettino can really thrive, develop into maybe that Dele Alli role, coming in off that right-hand side and being that creative spark. And I think Pochettino is someone that would really like to work with Mount. He would love him to stay. I'm not really sure what assurances Mount's wanting. Maybe is he wanting assurances on playing time? Obviously, money. Mount 100% deserves a pay rise for what he's done over the last couple of years. He's been on 80k, one of the lowest paid players, if not the lowest paid player at the club. 100% deserves a pay rise for sure. Having done a lot more than some of the players that are on way more money than he is over the last couple of years. But I think, as I said, it would be a mistake for Mason Mount not to stay at the club. We really need to be keeping some of these academy players, forming a good young English core, the likes of Colwell, James, Mount, if he stays as well. Ben Chilwell, I know he's not from the academy, but a core of English lads that kind of understand the club. But let's wait and see what happens on this one. There's no real updates there, just that Arsenal have now kind of registered their interest. But the Mount saga is boring. I feel it would be a mistake. And my other message is that, like, if you don't like Mount, you don't think he's good enough or whatever, then that's fine. But just leave it at that. The constant abuse, the negativity surrounding him as a player, like, he's one of our own. He's come through the academy. He's played a massive part in us winning the Champions League for the second time in the club's history. And the way that people go on about him, you think he's some sort of useless player that's kind of won a competition to play for the club or something. He's a top player. He's not having a good season, but we've got to stick by him. He deserves a new contract. He needs to earn that right to be a starter again. And he can be a really important part of the squad going forward. But as of yet, there's an impasse still in negotiations. And I'm sure at the end of the season, things will pick up and we'll get an answer one way or another on the future of Mason Mount. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much your Chelsea news update. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, almost at 3K now, less than 20. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. Get me to that 3K milestone. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you liked the video, and I'll catch you again in another one soon, people. Up the Chelsea. Peace out.